Last call out. Morning show goes insane. Jay looks insane, and this is the last call out. Jay and Ronnie. Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts. I'm your host, Big Ron Partlow. Of course, Dusty Hanshaw, the producer, Scott McNally. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
Yes, absolutely. And this Reacts is brought to you by IamMutant.com. Go to IamMutant.com and use the codes Dusty and Big Ron. Get your ISO Surge, get your all in, and everyone should get on the gear. And today on Reacts, in light of, I told on the last episode, I told a story about Jay Cutler coming to visit West Coast Iron and signing the wall and everything. It was really cool. And I had a cool chat with Jay about Ronnie Coleman, and we talked about this new commercial that he did with Young LA with Ronnie, and he told me a bunch of funny stories about shooting it. And we started talking about just doing some Ronnie and Jay reacts. So we've got a couple of cool clips. First one is the Young LA commercial. And then we're going to show a classic Jay and Ronnie battle, probably one of the most classic of all time. And we're going to react to it. So Dusty hasn't seen this yet, right?
No, this is a true reacts from
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, so let's just watch this commercial. It's a Young LA kind of Gold's Gym collab they did. So let's just watch this commercial for those of you that haven't seen it.
Hey, bro. Hey, can I get you to sign in? Sorry, we don't just let people in.
Hey, man. I'm Jay Cutler.
Oh, that's great.
I'm Chris. Welcome to Gold. We have a couple things you need to do before you just walk in. Let me get you a waiver, guest pass.
But I'm on the wall.
Okay. I'm on the wall. Cool.
Maybe someday, right? You'll get there. Let's get you in here. Take a couple seconds.
Whoa, Jay.
Hey, man.
Can you sign my bill, please?
Of course. Of course. Be happy to sign it.
Thanks, man. Big fan. See, I signed his bill.
Great. Now you can sign my waiver.
Look at that.
Oh. We could have just started with this. But no way, we had to have the back and forth, you know? Wonderful. Go for it. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be here at the front. Again, Chris, if anybody asks.
Ronnie Coleman, baby!
Yeah, buddy.
You're good to go. You don't even have to check in. You just go right in. Ronnie Coleman coming in.
Time to do it. Ain't nothing to do but to do it, baby. Let's get it.
That was amazing. Oh, wow.
That was great. I'm on the wall.
Yeah. Sure you are. Sure you are.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Oh.
I like the part where he said, I signed his belt. He goes, good. Now you can sign my waiver. And then we wouldn't have to do this whole back and forth here.
Yeah, that was definitely fantastic. And
So,
so it's even better because we all know that happened to Dorian.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, it happened to Dorian. Yeah. It's like, I'm on
Yeah,
the
he
wall.
came in and the guy wanted to charge him. And he goes, well, you have to have done the Olympia. He goes, well, I've won it 6 times. And see that up there? That's me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
like, oh.
I remember I remember the days where pros trained free, right?
Yeah,
Before there was like a million pro cards, right?
Yeah.
So pros used to train free. So I remember I walked in there one time and like I wasn't like the type of person who's gonna argue with anybody. I'm not like, you know, so I just went in there and the guy's like, hey, it's like $50 US at the time to train.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, huh, okay. So I was gonna pay it. And then Will Harris was standing like just like 20 feet away, and Will just yells at the kid, don't charge him. And I was like, oh God, oh Will. I was like, thanks, Will, but like I don't want the guy to hate me. And then Will comes over and he's like, no. This guy's old school. And he goes, he's not one of these physique pros. Like he said something like that. And he goes, he doesn't pay. And I was like, I was just standing there. And then the guy's like, oh, okay. And then the guy just said to Will, oh, okay. Like, you know, and Will's like, you just let him in. So I signed the waiver and then he just let me in. I was like, thanks, man. And I was like really nice to the kid after I went back and talked to him. I'm like, hey, you know, thanks for letting me in. Really appreciate it. I felt bad.
Yeah.
But
I would have just paid.
Like, yeah, this is like, you know, big, huge Will. Don't charge him. And I was like,
Thanks to Jay, I got into Powerhouse Ypsilanti for free 1 year. So it was Central States, and Jay comes out every year for Central States in the fall. And he, just hangs out with everybody and everything. He's kind of like the guest appearance for that show. And after the prejudging was over, I thought, okay, I'm going to go over and get a workout in. So I head over there, and, I had seen Jay, we talked and everything, and, over at the show. Well, I get over to the gym. Turns out Jay and one other guy were getting out of their car, like at the same time I was. And, I didn't want to bother him, so I'm not like really walking with him. But we all three kind of got out in the parking lot at the same time. And then I kind of walked ahead. I'm the first person in the gym. And I was like, hey, how's it going? I just wanted to train for the day. And they're like, and I'm reaching in for my wallet. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Were you at the show? And I was like, yeah, we just came from the show. Or I just came from the show, and they're like, oh, okay, you don't have to pay. You're good. You don't have to pay. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I, said, thanks a lot, and I walked in and did my workout, and Jay's like 10, 15 feet behind me, right? So he gets in, and then I realized afterward, I was like, oh, it's not, because I was like, oh, maybe they were just like, everybody from the show could train here for free today. No, that's not the case, because there's other years that I've come there during the show, and they made me pay every time.
The guy assumed you were with Jay.
They thought I was like, oh, what's up? Jay and I are here to work out. Jay and I are training back today.
In the same car.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're way back, Jay and I.
So, thank you, Jay. If you're watching, Jay, thank you. I appreciate that.
He's probably inadvertently done that to like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Everyone's saved if they're near him.
So Jay told me there's a series of commercials, and there's another one coming that picks up right where that left off.
I can't wait to see that. Dude, I laughed so hard the first time I saw that, like out loud.
Yeah, buddy, Ronnie Coleman coming in.
That's great.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
It was the ultimate rivalry. You know what I mean?
Jay was good too. Jay had like he was real happy to be there. He was convincing. He was like, I'm Jay Cutler.
He was good. Like, I'm Chris.
And I have to say,
hey, Jay.
I have to give
Jay a shout out here, because I know we talk about how Jay knows how to like represent bodybuilding.
Yeah.
He came into my gym last night with like the guys from Supplement World.
Yeah.
So they all walk in, and Jay immediately goes right to the front counter and shakes the hand of all the staff that are working and introduces himself.
Yep.
And
That's cool.
I absolutely noticed it, because I've seen a lot of guys come in and they just ghost the front desk, and they're like, okay, looking around. Oh, you got some new stuff. And they're like really happy to be there and stuff. But Jay took that minute to go to the front desk first, met Keon, met Carter, met Kayla, met the people that were working. And there's some staff had come in, because I told the staff on the chat, hey, Jay's coming to the gym. So a bunch of the staff went down to like, get a picture with Jay. I didn't tell that. We couldn't tell the members, so it would have been too chaotic.
Right.
Yeah.
But, we just told the staff. So like they were all there, and they were like kind of waiting for him. And he went right to the front desk. And so that's just the type of guy he is.
That's cool. That's cool.
And he is on the wall.
You still charge him though, right?
Yeah. $30.
Sign the waiver.
Yeah.
Sign my waiver. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So now we've got a true battle between Jay and Ronnie. Probably the most epic
to
battle.
That situation.
Yeah. So let's set this up. So in 2009, Jay had placed, he was in the top 10, right?
2000.
Or sorry, 2000, I mean.
Yes.
In 2000, Jay had placed ninth, I think.
Ninth, yep.
I think, if my memory serves me correctly.
I'm pretty sure it's ninth too.
If not, somebody will correct us. They'll be quick to that. And that's good. Give them a chance to, keep saying ninth. That way we'll get more comments, and more interaction.
Be wrong, drive the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the year before this, it was Ronnie, Kevin, Flex, Sean Ray, Nasser, Lee Priest, Marcus Rule,
good guy,
Jay in 8th, Dexter in 9th. So that was the year before. So everyone's looking at the 2001 Olympia, and they're thinking, okay, we got Ronnie, we got Kevin, we got Flex, we got Sean, right?
Yeah.
Again.
You're not thinking about 8th, that's for sure.
You're not thinking about 8th. And let's see what happens. 2001 Mr. Olympia.
All right.
Last call out. Morning show goes insane. Jay looks insane, and this is the last call out. Jay and Ronnie. And everyone's like, oh shit. There's a new kid in town.
Front double bicep.
Love the calves from the front.
See Ronnie joking there? You mean back double
he's really good
bicep?
at back, yeah.
Yeah.
The video on this screen doesn't even do the justice, though, for those who didn't see.
But it's awesome because it's 23
hard.
years ago.
Yeah, but even if you watch the VHS
pecs.
back in the day, you could really see the reason that Jay closed the gap and why so many people thought he was going to win. I mean he
they're
was
both just
flawless here. Ronnie was a bit spilled, and Jay was bananas at this show. But this is why Jay needed to improve the back shots after this show.
Yeah, the only, Ronnie always had the back double, but Jay was, look at Jay's lats that go all the way to his hips back then. Look at that back double on Ronnie. Just a mess.
Yeah.
Lat spread.
The lats and then the waist is just wacky. I wish that they would have remembered back in the day. I do not need to see you from the front on the rear lat spread.
Right?
Yeah,
I really wish the video guys understood that. I want to
see both at the same time.
Just scoot back and let me watch like I'm a judge, please. Thank you. Right here. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask?
And then Jay always won this shot. Ronnie's amazing in all the poses, but in this actual pose, this is one of the poses that Jay always won. It was a side try. He just had the best side try.
Everything looks nuts. Shoulders, chest, delts, abs.
I'll look for a photo to throw in here, Dusty, because I'm sure that we'll get better quality. You know what I'm saying? We can really see what Jay's condition looked like here.
Especially in this shot. That shot was nuts in real time.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of my bodybuilding life there, Ron.
Yeah, you were really getting into it at that point, yeah. I remember the talk. I remember the shock of everyone.
That concludes prejudging for the first round.
And Jay, so I've told this story before, and I think, did Chris tell this story on air, or did he just tell me and you?
About the elevator?
Yeah, being in the elevator.
I don't know if that was on air or not. Tell it anyways.
So
Chris
Aceto was quietly going through very serious cancer treatments during that time.
Okay.
He had stage 4 melanoma. And as Chris will say, there is no stage 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's do or die. And he was using interferon, which is a super harsh chemotherapy drug. Yep. And he was doing rounds of interferon. And I think he would be like 1 month on, 1 month off.
I've heard it described as like burning down the house to get a stain out of the carpet.
Yes. Yep. Yes. He said, Aceto told me that when he did his first interferon treatment, he went home and laid on the bed and thought, this drug's going to kill me.
Right.
And so that's how Chris was doing that year. And he quietly coached Jay through to that show. And when they left prejudging, Jay was technically in the lead.
Yep, by 1 point.
He was ahead of Ronnie by 1 point. So they got in the elevator, and Chris said, this is how my story ends. You win the Olympia, and I die. And he just thought, this is my book. My book, my story, my movie is that me and Jay met when he's 17, and we go all the way to the top, and then I die. And that's the movie. And that's a pretty crazy story. And Chris was like wrestling with that.
Yeah.
And then they went to the finals, and Jay didn't win. And Chris told me that it hit him. Oh, maybe I don't die. Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
now Chris will say that to someone who's on low carbs. Well, it's not stage 4.
Yeah.
he broke it down in 2011 when I worked with him, and we pushed really, really, really hard. He called me one day, and you know this, Ron. Most of your communication is email, little text, and every now and then this was when I was really just a client.
How was legs?
Yeah, I wasn't we weren't friends yet. I was just, at that point, I think I was more of a client still. And he just called me and he said, "Hey, this is going to get really hard now." We were about 6 weeks out. And he said, "I need you to not take on more than 1 hour of your day at a time. Like, don't even think past it." He's like, "So if you wake up at 5 in the morning, you're allowed to think of what you need to do until 6 in the morning, but not past it." He goes, "If you think past that, it'll be too much at times." He said, "You're going to be too tired. I'm going to push you too far." And he explained to me, he said, when I had my stage 4, he said, I'd be sitting, on the bed or whatever. And he'd go, "I have to go to the bathroom." It would hit me. And he would just sit there and think, "I really got to go." And he said, when I finally am to the point where if I don't go to the bathroom, I'm going to piss myself, I would make myself go to the bathroom and then I would pee. And he goes, and then at that point, while I was in the bathroom, I would decide if I had the energy to now brush my teeth. But I would never be egotistical enough to, when I was sitting up from the bed, to say I'm going to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth, because that's too much.
Yeah.
So he said, "That's how I want you thinking about this prep." And from then on, every time he would ask me, "How you feeling?" I'd just go, "It's not stage 4." Because once someone puts it in that perspective,
Yeah.
and it was hard, but A, it's a choice hard, totally different. And B, it's not even close. And it's another example why he's such a good coach. It made it easy. Because, what a bitch would you be to be saying, "Oh, I'm tired." Like, well, you're not dying. You're tired. Suck it up.
Yeah.
But when he pointed that out, it literally changed the entire prep. And it was just like, wow. And then, of course, I pulled a book out of a page out of Ron's book once he told me about stage 4, and I dug into it and went down a rabbit hole and found out that basically no one survives that.
Oh, yeah.
It took Chris a decade. Chris told me it took him a decade before he could work out again, because he would lift weights and he would be sore for a month. And it took forever for him to develop any kind of real decent recovery again. And that drug just hammers the shit out of you,
It's crazy how resilient the human body is. You know what I mean? A decade. Mm-hmm. But then he was able to do it again,
Yeah. Crazy. So that 2001 story, there's a lot going on. It's not just Jay getting final call out with Ronnie. There's a lot going on behind that story of how Jay got there and what was going on with him and Chris and where Chris was. And it was a crazy year. Yeah. And then Ronnie won it in the finals. He pulled ahead in round 2. So, and then that, of course, was the beginning of the greatest rivalry of all time,
which we are still discussing in Young LA commercials.
Yeah. And they're still bringing it up. It's awesome. It's awesome that when Emily and I stopped by the Supplement World event to see Jay yesterday, and there was a 3-hour lineup to see him. Yeah. And I had a talk with Josh, the owner. I said, I'm really happy to see this, because he's not, he's not an Instagram influencer. He's not a new guy. He's not a 25-year-old phenom. He's a retired old school bodybuilder. And he's still pulling a 3-hour lineup full of young guys in their early 20s.
They weren't born when he did that show.
Yeah, they weren't born when he was competing against Ronnie. Half these guys weren't barely born when he was competing and winning Arnold Classics and stuff. So it's really good. And then it was good for, because we all know the physique world is doing well, but how about bodybuilding, right? You know what I mean? And so I was just happy to see it. Jay's keeping it going, man. Flying the flag.
He transcends bodybuilding though, so it's a little different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun. I had fun watching that. That was awesome. 2001, man. What a year.
Yeah. Both. Ronnie Coleman, come on in, buddy.
Yeah, lightweight, buddy. Ronnie Coleman coming in, everybody.
Oh, that's classic.
Okay, wait till you see the next one. Jay told me what it's about, and it's hilarious. So
I can't wait.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
IamMutant.com, code Dusty or Big Ron. Get your ISO surge, get your all in, and everyone should get on the gear. Thanks, everybody. This has been It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts.